I just could not imagine how people are feeling there in the area, especially families that have learned that either the loved one has passed away when they left town, never to see them again. You don't know how those emotions are. God knows what some of the relationships were, or, some people fight. Some people didn't leave on good terms, whatever it might be. It happened. And then you get those folks that are injured and sometimes not knowing what their plight's going to be. And some people are left not knowing exactly if they're ever going to be walking again. People have lost their eyeballs, lodged in their brain, just all sorts of spinal column in the neck, in organs and bones. It's just, it's unbelievable. Steve Scalise, he was injured himself, and now, amazingly, a lot of people never thought that he'd be able to go back to Congress, but he's back up, and he's been speaking and being outspoken about this whole thing, but not rushing to any kind of judgment. And nor should anybody rush. But Senator John Lewis, of course, he was just going off the other day.
Must die. 100, 1,000, 10,000, a million. What is your blood price? How many more dead bodies will it take to wake up this Congress?
Senator John Lewis, Obama didn't care, you didn't care about how many dead bodies were mounting up, thousands of them in Chicago. And by the way, just FYI, it was black on black crime. I love how minorities love to use the opportunity, in case in point, which is just a perfect segue into what I really wanted to talk about that's in the news thread. You're like, when is he going to talk about Michelle Obama? Why am I talking about former First Lady Michelle Obama in this way? Well, she was speaking about diversity, of all things, at the Pennsylvania Conference for Women on Tuesday. And I thought you might want to hear a little about the tone of her voice and what she's saying here. Very interesting.
If we're trying to get anything done and we look around and we all look alike, we're all sitting around the same table and we feel really comfortable with ourselves, we should question that at any table that we're at. And we should be working actively to mix it up so that we're getting a real broad range of perspectives on every issue. But I would see that in Congress. I mean, one of the most interesting points, I told you about this, usually at the State of the Union address, where, you sit in the balcony and watch the State of the Union.
Like you do.
Yeah, like you do. You see it on TV, I'm in the room, but when you're in the room, what you can see is this real dichotomy. That on one side of the room, it's a feeling of color almost. On one side of the room, it's literally gray and white. Literally, that's the color palette on one side of the room. On the other side of the room, there's yellows and blues and whites and greens. Physically, there's a difference in color, in the tone.
Wow.
Because one side, all men, all white. On the other side, some women, some people of color. And whenever I was sitting, I would always have a guest in that booth. Mm-hmm. And I was always the most embarrassed at the beginning when people would see that. Because I'd say that, is it just me? Am I looking at how governance works? And people look down at that and go, yeah, that looks good. That looks right. We're probably getting a lot done and we're doing it right. I look at that and I go, no wonder. No wonder we struggle. No wonder people don't trust politics.
That's it.
We're not even noticing.
And listen to the thunderous applause he gets in front of a all-liberal college, all-liberal folks. Instead of celebrating and being proud to actually be a woman of color and having her husband as being the first African-American to ever hold the White House, you don't hear her boasting about these things, though, that she's embarrassed. She's embarrassed. They could have made much more out of Barack Obama being the first African-American, inspiring next generation people to stand up and get involved with government. But now she's got a race bait just like her husband. They're two of a kind. I mean, it's not surprising. I mean, you usually find mates that agree in the philosophy. And I guess I'm not shocked to hear this. But, yeah, wow, there's so many white people. Did you realize that? Until she pointed it out, I never realized that. But again, you would think that she would have been so proud to say, I looked at myself and I said to myself, we've come such a long way. And I'm proud to represent my country because I am the first lady of the United States of America, and my husband, Barack Hussein Obama, is the president. But no, she looked around and she was embarrassed. She looked around and it's interesting because you're talking about, let's see, what Congress was there? 114th Congress, because now it's the 115th Congress. So there was 46 black African Americans. I had to take a look just to make sure, because I'm thinking, was there no African Americans that are Democrats? Is there none there? Now, I look to the right, and, you know, folks, you can't blame. You're going to blame the Republicans because it's the GOP, and they're not allowing African Americans into Congress. There's 46 of them there in the 114. They lost maybe 2 seats or 3 seats, but pretty much mostly holding there. And just you can see what she says is not like totally out there, but how she says it. You know, they say it's not what you say, but how you say it, how she pivots, and how she uses this, as her husband did time and again, continues to do it, to set people against each other instead of people rising for exceptionalism and rising to the level to be able to be worthy to be there and to be a part of the process. But still, you know, and everybody can come to the table. It'd be nice to have, and I will say this, more African Americans, but it's not like they're uninvited. Wouldn't that be a news story? Republicans are not allowing African Americans to join the party. A lot more black conservatives are out there, and a lot more are coming in. But she's embarrassed still. Well, don't worry. And it was funny because the moderator was kind of chiming in with her and saying, oh, what you do. Well, you don't sit there in Congress anymore. You're not the first lady of the United States anymore, nor is Barack Obama the president of the United States, former president, former first lady. Thank God you don't have to be embarrassed any longer. For once in a long time, I am very impressed with the leadership. It has nothing to do with the color. I don't say, oh my God, it's a white man in the White House. Give me a break.
We'll help you survive this thing called life. We're for the people, for the people, for the people is there.
It's unlike anything you've ever been through in your life, man. I was driving. This kid threw a grenade at us. It went right over our vehicle. It was 12 years old.
The shockwave went through my head, rattled up my brain, and left.
Danger is around you 360 degrees at all times, and you can't unlearn that.
It's impossible to describe the sacrifices these men and women have made to protect our freedoms. And the job of rebuilding their lives is massive and growing every day. Many will need the programs offered by the Wounded Warrior Project for years to come.
I didn't know what PTSD was. All I knew is I was having nightmares. And when I got released, my reintegration was go check in at the VA, man.
My first coping mechanism was use drugs. Just numb it, don't feel anything.
I was angry. I'm trying to pull myself out of that right now.
Your gift today of $19 per month will honor and empower these veterans so they can aid and assist each other.
The Wounded Warrior Project is a life raft.
I can say this without question that I wouldn't be here today if it weren't for it.
Women Wear Project is the first step, getting back out into the world and reforming yourself outside of the service.
Call or go online with a pledge of $19 a month. You'll receive this Wounded Warrior Project blanket, and your gift will provide critically needed programs that rebuild lives.
That was my first feeling of actually being a part of something bigger than myself again.
Well, I lost a few really close friends overseas, and if I quit, I'm going to let them down, and I'm not about to do that.
I'm learning to face my fears head on. To trust and see what happens at the end.
It's a long process, but I had the drive and desire.
Please, call or go online with your gift right now.
For the people is there.
Introducing the official For the People coffee mug, patriotic as can be, in featuring the colorful red, white, and blue For the People logo with Keith Allen on a ceramic 11-ounce coffee mug, perfect for any beverage of your choice. This mug is a great reminder of what we stand for: God, country, and family, with conservative values and good old-fashioned common sense. To order your For the People coffee mug, pay just $20 plus $3.99 shipping and handling at forthepeopleshow.com. That's forthepeopleshow.com. For the People has a special opportunity for you. If you own a business and want to gain a national audience that is loyal and will do business with you, imagine being able to get your product and or service into the hands of tens of thousands of people each week. Sponsorship opportunities are now available at rates you can afford. Finally, the show you love, with your business supporting what we do in partnership. Start running your commercials today. To contact us, go to forthepeopleshow.com. That's forthepeopleshow.com. With all the choices out there to enjoy some entertainment, wouldn't it just be nice to have something that didn't cost an arm or a leg? I found something that does just that. It's called 123 Ready TV. It's one of the most remarkable apps available to start watching all of those movies and TV shows for one incredible price, just $19.99. And that's a one-time only price. Recap: all your movies, current and classic, and sports and news, and so much more. So cut the cable and stop spending money at the movies when you can truly have it all at your fingertips. No commercials, just all the entertainment you desire. 123 Ready TV is available for Windows and all Android devices. Get your 123 Ready TV for just $19.99 at forthepeopleshow.com. That's forthepeopleshow.com. Just click on the store page to get yours now and start enjoying entertainment the way it was supposed to be. Fun. And welcome back to For the People, ladies and gentlemen, your daily infusion of common sense. It lives here on this radio station. All right, folks, our website is forthepeopleshow.com if you'd like to weigh in on anything that we ever talk about. And believe me, you can chime in, be on your soapbox as much as you would like to, because when you do, on our website at forthepeopleshow.com, click on the Facebook, take you to For the People Show, which is our official @ on For the People. But you can start a thread and you can start talking with people of like-mindedness all over the country, and they're tuning in exponentially and incredibly online. Our online presence is insane. I am just flabbergasted the last week or so. I think because some of the press that we've received for the radio show, kind of turning a different direction and kind of expanding into some other markets. We've just been getting explosions. So we got a call from actually our server company, and it's saying, did you realize you got like 3,000 more listeners in the last week? And I'm like, that can't be right. And there's an infusion. But they can handle it at Spreaker. That's the company who does our streaming, if you will. We did 2 hours, and we just got this huge amount of space on the server, but they do the live feed for the stations, and technically they work out a lot of different things, and they're at Liberty, who actually syndicates it officially via satellite. They're in Salt Lake City. Sam Bushman's group, Liberty News, and Sam does a show called Liberty Roundtable, and it's phenomenal. And on several of these stations that we're on, Sam's on. And I always I sit at my table when I tune him in, and I say to I'm a student. I take notes. It's like one of those shows you just learn. so much. It's like a